Hello and welcome to Star Citizen. My name is Evenlease, and today on 10 Minutes More or Less Ship Review, right behind me I have a dropship, the ANVIL Valkyrie. Let's go ahead and take a look. Welcome back, everybody, to another review. Today, the ANVIL Valkyrie, a really cool-looking dropship, and it really does remind me of something out of the Aliens movie, of course, minus like the rocket pods that the one in the movie does have, but this ship is just super cool. It's an awesome-looking dropship, and it's really, you know, kind of fun to fly. It just, I don't know, something about its looks it just screams at me, like, fly me. I think it's really cool. But it comes with quite the price tag, and I'm about to get into that. But before I do, thank you everybody for entering into the giveaway so far. If you haven't, make sure you go and do that. I love giving back to the community that watches my videos, and whenever I get the chance, I'll go ahead and do so. Whether if it's from me or if it's from CIG, just brought to you by me, it doesn't matter. I want to give back to you guys. You guys are seriously the best. So, getting into this ship here, it is $375, which people call a dropship tax. Wow. 19,845,000 AUEC as well, if you were to buy it in game. Dropship tax is ridiculous. I'm a firm believer that should be abolished. Because this ship is tiny for $375, and it doesn't do that much per se. I mean, you can do a lot of roles in this game. Of course you can do a lot of roles in this game, but you can do a lot of roles in this ship. You can do deliveries, you can do a little amount of cargo, you can do medical operations, you can do dropship activity like going to a bunker and stuff, obviously. Pretty much any role in the game, but so can a lot of ships with half the price tag. So there's got to be a specific reason you're flying this ship if you want to fly it. Either you really just love the way it looks, and that's good enough for you. I mean, your money, right? In-game or not. Spend it how you want and enjoy. Or you're participating in org activities and you have a lot of people that you're transporting around. That's really the whole point of this ship. So definitely a good reason to have it. And in the future, when you can transport around, you know, people for money and stuff like that, where it's more of an actual career and not just a beacon, this will be a really awesome ship to use as well. Now, don't get me wrong, I think it's a great looking ship, and I think the ability to carry as many people as this ship can is really, truly awesome, and I think this is just a fantastic idea for org activities, but it really limits it to who's flying it right now, right? Which is totally understandable. Not every ship has to be for every person. You could totally fly this ship solo. You're going to be missing a lot of what it can do flying it solo, but you can definitely fly this ship with a group and have a great time. Now, getting past that price, let's take a look at the damage per second. Now, this ship only has 516 DPS behind the pilot. So, the pilot only has control of these two guns right here on the nose of the ship, and that is it. No other gun on this ship is controlled by the pilot, and there's no rockets. Now, these two guns are size 3 CF337 Panthers, just like pretty much every other gun on this ship. You have a man turret underneath with CF337 Panthers, and then you have two unmanned turrets, one on each wing, which is also a CF337 Panthers. And then on the top of the ship is another man turret with CF337 Panthers. Now, it's a lot of Panthers, and it can really put out a lot of firepower, but you have to have all these guns manned, right? You have to either have a bunch of friends, an org, or you someday will hire an AI crew to man all these guns, but that's a long ways out. They haven't even mentioned it, I feel like, in a long time. So don't count on that anytime soon. Now, there's also two more turret guns on this ship, and that is right here in the door, as you can see. It is what you would consider like a door gun that when troops are offloading or onloading, or you're just flying over a combat zone, that can definitely lay down some suppressive fire, which is awesome. Each one of those guns is a size 1 Yellow Jacket GT210, so you're not going to really do much damage to anything other than ground troops, maybe smaller, lighter vehicles, but outside of that, it's still pretty cool. I think more ships should honestly have guns like that, because it just looks super sick. It really does. Now, if I could ask for anything on a wish list for this ship, for CIG to change, get rid of the unmanned turrets and just put these as pilot controlled with the nose gun. You're a drop ship. You want more people hitting the ground. You don't want so many people just staying on your ship. You want to be in, drop, out, good to go. But I mean, I guess that's a fight going both ways. Some people probably love having this here and being able to put down more fire. And if that's the case, maybe add another gun to it. Let's make it a dual turret. Let's make it worth something, you know. Let's make it worth that seat being occupied. Now, moving on from that, this ship does have 12,000 bubble shield. So for a drop ship at its price tag with its lack of pilot-controlled DPS, 12,000 bubble shield. It's a bubble shield, which means if you get hit, it takes from the entirety of that shield. That seems quite ridiculously low. Like, you go towards a bunker, you're going to get shredded. And once that shield drops, you have 44,053 health points. Obviously, everything is subject to change, this being an alpha, so I'm sure they're just going to put some balance passes on it. But this is a drop ship. This ship should be able to take a hit, very much so. Now, this could definitely change in the future when they implement armor into the game, but that's also a very long time out. You're not going to see that for a while, so we have to account on what we have now, and that's a health point system with only 44,000 health points on a drop ship. So that is something to definitely consider, that you might not want to drop at the front line with this ship. You might want to inch it back maybe a kilometer and make them walk, because this takes a hit and you might not have a ride home. But it's still an awesome looking ship. And don't get me wrong, you have a great pilot. This thing could probably get in and out of a bunker area, you know, if you planned out the LZ properly without a problem. But on the normal day, that's a pretty low shield amount and health pool amount for a drop ship, in my opinion. Now, moving on, let's go ahead and take a look at the interior. Oh yeah, before we do, these are VTOL thrusters. Obviously, as you can see, they don't just sit like this. So if you look on screen, they can open and close just by pressing the K key, which is awesome because without them in the VTOL mode, the ship has like no vertical thrust, so you have to put them in VTOL so you can lift off. Now, moving on into the interior here, this ship can fit up to a Ursa-sized vehicle. So right now I have the Ursa Medevac with plenty of space to spare on each side, which is totally awesome. Can't fit a ballista, can't fit a storm, can't fit a tonk. Some people were really upset about it not being able to fit a storm, and I totally understand it. This is a drop ship. Why can't you fit a light tank that's a fast attack tank in this ship, right? So there are a lot of calls to either redesign the interior of the ship, or, you know, make the storm a little bit smaller. But, you know, you're not going to change the whole look of the storm. So if there's any chance, they might make this ship a little wider, but I doubt it. They're going to give this thing a gold standard pass and a components pass, and then they're probably going to take away some of the space. When you add all the components here, especially with the size ship it is, it could potentially, you know, take away a lot of the space on the floor here. But, you know, just like the Freelancer, maybe not. Maybe it won't. So something to consider. If you press this key here, it opens up like this little panel here, preventing something from running right into the back door. Now, this is your cargo access, cargo room, etc., etc. You have 3 access points, the back and each side door, and that is it. So that is it for your access points on this ship. Thankfully, not an elevator in sight, just 3 little areas that you can enter, one via a ramp and the other 2 from a door that you can climb up through. And then over here you do have lockers, which you can't access any of them at this point. Again, it definitely needs a gold standard pass so you can access a lot of these functions of this ship. And then each one of these doors here, this one, and let me open up this one here, goes to where all your soldiers or anybody you're transporting will be sitting. And you got quite a few seats. You got 5 on each side, which allows you to transport up to 20 people. That is insane. and I'm going to take out my gun, and you can place it here. They have gun racks next to each one, which makes total sense. If you're strapped into a seat and you're ready to go to war, go to war, you're going to grab your gun and you're going to head on out. This is a pretty hectic little area, isn't it? Because you do have these doors, so if you do lose pressurization, thankfully the soldiers won't just be sucked right on out, which is awesome. But let's get more into that in just a second here. Going past this area here, you do, of course, have all your soldiers, and then you have more component access, which isn't currently available, and then you have the turret access, which is, pretty cool. It looks nice. These turret points take up so much space, but it's totally understandable. There's a lot of mechanism to, drop you down into where you're going to sit and protect your ship. More component access there, of course, not accessible at this point. Now, if we head back through where the cargo area is, I'm not sure did I say this? The cargo area holds 30 SCU of cargo. There was a point in time where it held 0, and then they're like, okay, sure, it's a big open area. We'll give it a cargo grid. Here's 30. Now, people want that to expand even more, but, 30 is a good starting point. Honestly, you're not going to get much else. It's a drop ship, right? It's holding enough cargo for some military supplies at least. Now, to get to the pilot seat, there's only one access point. And that's this this ladder here, which how we all love either ladders or elevators. One way or another, this will become sticky or whatnot and can make it kind of a pain sometimes. Just depends on the day and the bug, right? Now you have all your beds here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 5 crew beds, and then you have another turret access here. It goes to the top turret. Now, here is a little kitchen area with the smallest amount of little kitchen space. You can make frozen pizza or something. And then right here is a massive bathroom. Yep. Nice little sink with, I assume that's going to be a mirror. And then you have a toilet standing back from that, as well as a shower right where the toilet is. Nothing better than cleaning yourself off while you take care of business. Now, moving out of the bathroom, which seems to have a smoking issue, we're going to go ahead and talk about the complete audacity of this area. Now, let's imagine you are flying into a heavily restricted, combat-prone area. You are in space, and you get hit. Let's just say there's a mine, or, you get shot at, whatnot, whatever, and it blows open that back door or one of your side doors. Where is your crew sitting that could potentially give them the worst nightmare of their life? They are sitting right here, in a unsecure, no airlock area of the ship, as your cargo room is right there, and there's nothing protecting the potential sleeping crew or crew on either one of these stations here at all. Now, this looks like it would be maybe a door access point, but it doesn't close at any regard, nothing yet at least. And then over here you do have the pilot seat, which does have a door, thankfully. Only one, but it's a door nonetheless, so hey, that's better than nothing. More components left and right on each side, so, they have a lot of places for components, but they don't really care about the safety of their crew, because not only do you have no way to pressurize this room in case of depressurization, because of all these little gaps here and this nice little ladder system, but the crew is just like they aren't going to like this situation, right? Because even if you're not in a restricted area, if you get attacked randomly and it blows open a door, that's going to be the worst experience of your life while it lasts for a few seconds. You'll be laying here and then you'll get folded into 5 as you get ripped out through the side there. Jeez. Now, these beds are probably, I don't see anything that specifically says it. Let me see. My guess is these are escape pods. I don't see anything that says it, though, but I bet you these are. Typically, they are in these style of ships because there's no other escape pods anywhere else. So that's interesting. You have a little screen for each person as well, and it folds down like that, so when you're laying here, you can watch it. I was about to say this is kind of backwards otherwise. So pretty cool, pretty cool. It's, not a bad area. It's just completely not the smartest area to lay if you have any trouble with your doors or air seals. Looking at this ship here, it does have a top speed of 200 SCM, 420 forward boost, and 240 backwards boost. Now, it has a nav speed of 1,100 and a quantum fuel tank of 2,500. So there's a lot of questions here on everything I've gone over. Are you using this in an org activity or with a lot of friends? Are you using this solo, and why? Is this what you're using to go rock mining? What is your love with this ship? Is it the beautiful design? Because it is very beautiful. Do not get me wrong. It's a great looking design. But going over the numbers and thinking about what it's really potentially useful for, it feels like it's for a very selective group, which, like I said, totally okay, because not everything has to be for everyone, right? If you like the Prospector, it doesn't mean you need to go and bring it into a battle against the Javelin, right? But you got poor driver DPS. Your shield and ship HP is pretty low for a dropship. It does have a cargo grid, which is nice. Having the cargo grid is nice. Never used to have it, but now it does. The speed's okay. Quantum fuel's good, pretty decent, but it's just got some ventilation issues on the interior. They need to redo the interior, in my opinion, and it would be very helpful if they did. This ship has a lot of potential, a lot of very good future potential, especially when a lot more gameplay elements get put into play. This ship will definitely be something really awesome. If I were to give this ship a score based off of everything I've seen and, you know, all the stats, all my experience with it, the price point, and the current, gameplay implementations compared to that price point, this ship for me is a 6 out of 10. Don't hate me. Stop it. It's a 6 out of 10, but it has potential for a lot better score in the future. It needs a redesign in the interior. It definitely needs some work on the interior. I'm fine if it stays only 2 guns on the DPS side of it for the pilot. I mean, I wish there was more, maybe some rocket pods. That'd be cool. But outside of that, it has a good amount of turrets. It's fantastic with that. The ship and shield HP is kind of crap just for the role that this ship is supposed to have. So yeah, I mean, let me know what you think of this ship down in the comments below. My score weighs heavily on the price there too, because that's a pretty big price, whether it's in-game or not, for this style of ship, and it being kind of outmatched by plenty of other ships that can transport people, as well as do everything else much better. So, yeah, let me know what you think of the ship down in the comments below. Do you have one? Why do you have one? And thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.